The Binarycore Podcast is brought to you this week by 2pipscast. 2Ps in a Podcast is a storytelling podcast by Gavin and James, where they discuss random subjects and tell stories about their life and friendships. Often they have guests. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not, but no episode is complete without a dick joke or two. Highbrow stuff. You can check out their stuff at 2pipscast.podbean.com or search for 2pipscast on iTunes. Also, check them out on Twitter at 2pipscast. You'll also be able to find a link to their sites in the link dump below. Hey, it's Spyro at Binarycore.org and welcome to Podcast 30. This week I'm joined by Bambi, Lance and KittorPrototype, and we're going to be talking about the price release for the Xbox One games. Half-Life 3 has finally been released. I know we've done it every week, but it's finally been done at this time. The multiplayer for Arkham Origins, a topic that we've been discussing, which is about the open world versus narrative pushed games and what we think would be better for a way forward. And also, Microsoft owns all of your fanfics for Halo, so enjoy.
That's fine. See, this is the beginning of the podcast.
This is the beginning.
This is a beginning. It's not the beginning.
Could be the beginning. It's the beginning of this podcast.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think we can agree on that.
Oh, no, I'm going to disagree on that. No, it's not.
So what is it the beginning of?
The rest of your life.
Beginning of the rest of your life.
From this podcast.
From this podcast
From this
onwards.
podcast forward, I am officially alive.
Yeah, because who knows beforehand? It's not like you've been on any others.
I've been on loads.
We could have been faking your voice.
Wait, what?
Oh, hello, I'm Matt. See? That was you.
That sounded just like me.
You see?
I
It sounded just
have to
like
admit, that does sound a lot like me. Dig!
Dick.
Wait till you
Dig,
get the
that's a sign.
exclamation mark.
Anyway,
I think it's on the wall.
could be on the wall.
Go on, Dom. Jump!
For clarification, Dominic's playing Sonic,
And
looking for keys.
I found some rings.
Anyway, Matt,
Yes,
you gave me topics.
I did.
Toothpicks.
Toothpicks,
I
yeah.
also gave him toothpicks.
Yeah.
There you go, Dom.
Let's start with your favourite thing ever,
Batman.
Batman. You know things about Batman.
I do know many things.
Tell me all the things you know about Batman.
They released the trailer for
Don't
the
know where it
Arkham
is.
Origins multiplayer. Look, Dom, run around till you get a little thing above your head. That's what normally happens.
Yeah.
Check the wall to the side where that big thing is there.
Batman.
Batman. And yeah,
That's Batgirl, clearly it's Rouge.
true. But yeah, and the trailer looks very cool because the basic idea is there's two sides with 3 henchmen each, so 3 Bane henchmen and 3 Joker henchmen, and they have to fight each other in a third-person shooter kind of style.
Goons, yes.
Goons.
All of the goons.
To take over checkpoints,
That's cool.
while at the same time as 2 other people playing as Batman and Robin, trying to take them down and intimidate each side so that they leave.
Okay, so it's like...
Sounds complicated.
So from the goons' point of view, it's Halo domination,
Yep.
or any other first-person shooter,
Kind of like
third-person shooter.
Capture the flag,
Cap-
third person.
I wouldn't say capture the flag, because that involves returning something, whereas domination is take
domination
bases.
is yeah.
Yeah, take bases and such.
Only one key?
And then it's like the... What was the thing in the first 2 games, where you had to take down people in certain ways?
Invisible Predator.
Invisible, so it's like the Predator when you play as Batman and
the
Robin.
game type mode is called Invisible Predator.
Okay.
But it looks, from what I've read, apparently it's more interesting playing as a goon than it is.
I feel like it
playing
would
as
be
Batman and
really
Robin.
slow as Batman and Robin, just swinging from rafters, waiting for people to walk below you, and then bam, take them out.
As far as I could tell, they would make the maps more open, so there'd be a lot of grates to hide under and things and you've got all of the gadgets at your disposal as well.
I think it would be more interesting as a goon because you'd be what would you do primarily? Be there shooting the other guys or looking into the skies for Batman and Robin flying
both.
about? That's my point. That's what'd be more interesting because you may be looking in the skies and you end up getting shot more, or then you end up shooting the baddies and then suddenly someone takes you down.
So I think as well, like when goons level up, they'll have access to better accessories and upgrades.
Yeah.
So like you can choose to have night vision goggles, so when you look up in the rafters and the gargoyles, you could see Batman and Robin
It
just
just
hanging out.
crashed. And then it came back.
And so that's just the multiplayer of that. Is there anything else to it, or will there be other game types in the multiplayer?
I'm not sure. That's all that they've announced.
Do you know when it's going to be out?
They haven't given a name, a date, haven't they?
I think.
Don't it?
I'm
Let's have a look.
pretty sure it's a.
Okay, it's a launch title, isn't it?
I don't know if it is. I think it's a current gen title.
They're both, isn't it?
I'm not sure, but it is really soon.
Speaking of the new ones, though, didn't they say how much they're going to be?
Yeah,
The new
the Xbox One announced their launch prices for games, and first-party games will cost $49.99 in the UK.
which is a lot of money.
It is a ridiculous amount of money. And you're googling Arkham Origins.
Yeah.
Just Wikipedia should have it.
The game is coming out sometime. Have we got dates?
October 25th.
October 25th and... No, yeah, it's only current. That's strange.
Because the next gen isn't out till November.
Yeah, but there are games coming out August, which are also coming out on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So,
But I think
because like Madden 25 comes out this month, and that's a
but
big title on the Xbox
same
One.
as FIFA.
Yeah.
They will always have like same. I think wasn't this year's FIFA the last PlayStation 2 one, or is it next?
FIFA 14, the one that's coming out at the end of this year, is coming out on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I think it's the last.
The PlayStation 2, which has been discontinued for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people still have them, and they still buy them.
I don't know, I feel like most people have a PlayStation 2 have either upgraded to a next gen of console. I don't think there are people out there.
I don't know.
Only with I don't think they'd only have
Yeah,
PlayStation
like
2.
if you're that big about it that you play games, you wouldn't just have a PlayStation 2 because you haven't been able to get new games for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Unless you're
Unless
FIFA.
you're a FIFA player, which you shouldn't own a console if you're a FIFA player. It's not a real game. Like we were talking about this when we were playing SSX before. The achievements on that were very much sports achievements. It was do things for the first time and then do all of the things.
Yeah, it was a matter of like getting medals and try it like your first grinding and your first, and then it's like finish everything.
Do all
and
of
get
the
a gold.
grinds. Yeah.
That's the quicker way.
Like, I don't know. I don't think they should. It shouldn't be released on PlayStation 2. I feel like they're not going to make any money out of that.
Maybe I think
Tiny amount.
I think they would make a tiny amount, but it's EA.
Well, for that one person who hasn't upgraded to the next gen of consoles.
Just before the next. We never know. They might get their Xbox 360 this year.
Or their PlayStation 3, which are going to become dirt cheap and everyone's going to get one.
Yep. Well, I'm thinking of buying a PlayStation 3 just so I can play some of the.
Karis wants one just for Crash Bandicoot.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I want to play Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. She gets to play Crash Bandicoot and I get to play Infamous and The Last of Us. So I think it's a really good deal.
Yeah. See, I was having a look at that, and there's quite a lot of like RPGs on the PS3 that I really want to play.
I think I went through it and there was only like 7 games that I would get on the PlayStation 3.
See, I have quite a few more than that. So I've got the.
As in exclusive games that I couldn't get on the Xbox.
No, that's what I meant. Like, but mine are more kind of JRPGs, like Tales of Xillia and.
I think say Vesperia.
Yeah,
No.
JRPGs.
Huh?
Huh?
He loves his JRPGs.
I do love my JRPGs. That's my favourite genre of games.
Terrible.
You could get that one that Tony's been playing.
Ni no Kuni.
That's that, yeah. Is that on the PlayStation or is it on Xbox as well?
PlayStation, just PlayStation.
You could get that. That's a JRPG, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's like Pokemon.
it is like Pokemon. Whereas like Tales of Xillia is more like Final Fantasy.
See, that's what I think when I hear JRPG. I just hear Final Fantasy and copies of Final Fantasy.
That's what it is. It's Final Fantasy and everyone else.
Oh no, the Tales games are. I'd actually say some of them are better than a lot of the Final Fantasy games.
Well, that's good because Final Fantasy wasn't brilliant. Sorry,
Oh!
sorry, opinion much.
But
they're
that's
not
like,
anymore.
but that's Matt's favourite game ever.
Wait, which game?
7.
Oh no, 6 is my favourite Final Fantasy game.
I thought you loved 8.
No,
wait.
I do like 8.
8.
Is 7 traditionally people's favourite?
Yeah, traditionally, but
But no, it's 8's
was
the
the
card
first.
game, right?
yeah, 6 was the first
Squall.
one I played. So yeah,
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I always get 6 and 8 mixed up.
yeah, but
I think I've never played either of them.
that's quite impressive.
What's the one where Advent Children was made?
7.
7.
I keep going by.
Because you're not attacking him. Jump and homing attack.
But yeah,
That's how you play
I'm
Sonic.
Looking
He's
forward
very
to
powerful.
the PlayStation being like 70, 80 quid.
The 3.
Yeah.
Is it really getting that cheap?
Oh, man.
I've seen a few pre-owned
Pre-owned
thing.
He's not here now.
Not
He's-
always.
Not
He's
always, but the
high.
majority of times.
Most of my games are pre-owned, and I think my
Not
console's
games,
pre-owned.
consoles.
My console's pre-owned. It works fine.
Well, a lot of people trade in pre-owned PS3s when they got banned from the network.
How does that... Is it the console gets banned?
Yes.
Yeah.
If they do something worth getting banned for.
So they banned the MAC address. They don't.
Yeah, they banned
Okay.
the actual console itself. And
So
the
there'll be a lot of
accounts-
people buying pre-owned consoles that would never work.
Yes, and we get that a lot anyway.
Is there not a way to check?
Is there not a way to unban it
No.
if it's been sold?
No.
So you get a lot of
That
people
console's
ringing
been
in.
banned because that console did something. So it doesn't matter.
Should ban accounts, not consoles.
As well as accounts.
That's.
But I don't think you should ban
So
the
what's the-
console. That seems a bit...
I suppose that's
Extreme.
to stop people then just getting a new account. But
You can get a new account,
yeah,
but if you're dissuading people by potentially having to spend, it costs them about 150 quid, you know, they're going to not do it.
yeah, but then you're
because
screwing
they're buying
over
consoles.
these other people who are buying pre-owned consoles. I get that's not their fault.
But then down to the retailer, if they try and make a network account and it doesn't work, then they can check it that way.
Xbox would never do it that way.
Don't get into that.
No, I'm hoping James is listening by this point.
Oh, God.
Apparently, he listens to our podcast, while in the shower.
It's not an image you want.
His tweet,
That's odd.
his tweet was like, "Oh, if you want to listen to three guys talking about games while in the shower, that's what I'm doing."
That makes it sound like you were talking about games while you were in the shower together.
That does.
This is-
That would make for a much more interesting podcast, though.
Just like a really large, or three showers close together.
No, just
No, just
all
one really
standing in
like-
a bath under
like
a
a-
shower.
Like in the showers that you get at swimming pools, where
Yeah.
they're communal showers.
Yeah.
You just be like, no one get too close to the mic because they're gonna. So, guys, what do you think about the Xbox One? No, that's not going to be a podcast for me.
Matt was loving the idea.
I was.
Hey, Dominic, now do a jump and do a homing attack.
You did
Quickly,
that.
go.
Go.
There we go.
I avoid.
You did avoid it. Well done.
It's a good word as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm going to get a PlayStation when it's cheap, just so I can play through all the RPGs, which I don't need online play for anyway.
Killzone's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
I've heard
just an
that
FPS,
Killzone's
right?
really good. Yeah.
FPS
Right.
on an alien planet with sort of normal technology, really, apart from big mechs.
I thought it was like, what was it? Like colonial expo. We've moved on from our planet, but there was like a nuclear war. Is that not what it was about?
Well, basically, there's one big, the Helghast, so the enemy. There was a nuclear war on the, well, not a nuclear war as such. The leader didn't want to get captured, so he set a sort of self-destruct nuke off,
As you do.
as you do,
That's what I do. I do. that.
and
That's
tried
how
to
I do.
kill the ISA, which is effectively the
Americans. Yeah.
the Americans.
They probably had it coming.
They are.
But yeah, it's always a massive struggle. There's huge, great spaceships and stuff in play as well.
So I like FPSs. So
Yeah.
What, and it's
I-
only
also,
on-
you get to
only
play
on
Dust.
yeah,
PlayStation.
yeah. It's their
They're
Halo.
answer to Halo.
yeah, it's their Halo.
But you get to play Dust as well, which is in keeping with
Dust?
the. Yeah, it's basically
What Tales of Elysium Dust or a
no
different
Dust 514.
game? Okay.
It's with Eve Online.
Oh, you know, you tell me that. It's the it's the
It's the
FPS
foot
that
soldiers
links
part
with
of
it.
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But it's included in the universe and the lore of Eve.
Okay.
So someone invades a planet and you are the troops that invade.
It's like playing Halo Wars.
Yeah.
Cool down ordnance and
Halo Wars.
Not a good
I
game.
suppose. Yeah,
Okay.
it's quite an awesome game. And also, when you die, you lose your stuff.
So it's permadeath.
No, it is respawn.
You just
but you
get
buy
raided.
kit. You buy like 15 of this. And,
Oh, right. So like
and you make a
Counter-Strike.
loadout,
Yeah, yeah.
and you lose your stuff if you die, so you have to buy more.
Just like Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike is the way you could do it.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if the new one's like that because I haven't played it a lot, but the like 1.6 and Source, it was you had what loadout you get like 16,000 at the beginning.
And then you buy a loadout.
Buy what you want, yeah.
And you earn money by killing.
Yeah, and if you
it's the
haven't
same.
earned enough money, you can't buy your loadout again.
So you just
Yeah.
start off
So it
with
was
a pistol.
all I ever did was it was F1, which was previous loadout, or F2, which was best I can get with my money. Otherwise, you'd be there for ages, being like, okay, what's the first one and what's that?
Yeah,
Well,
so
What I
Go's
used to
kind
do
of
on
the
the
same.
original
Yeah,
was literally open the thing up. Obviously, by that point, I've memorised all the numbers, so tap all the numbers and then just previous loadout every time.
yeah. Oh no, it did get to that in Counter-Strike. If you knew you play it enough, you could just be like 5-2, and then it'd be done. That's cool. Do you prefer playing open world games or narrative driven like linear games?
Depends on the game.
Yeah.
Well, no, if you had a choice,
If I had a choice,
like if you had a choice between a Skyrim type open world game where you could do whatever you want, or a Halo, I'm going to name FPS games. I'm trying not to, but Mass Effect, third person. Mass Effect, very much linear.
But it's not. Because
No,
there are
Mass
side
Effect's
missions,
more-
it's quite open world. See, that's the kind of game I would prefer, where it's kind of open world,
I'd-
but there is a linear pushed storyline.
I'd
as
say
well. It's a
Mass
combination
Effect,
of the
it
two.
reminds me a lot of sort of the Spyro way of doing it. You've got the hub world, which is the overworld
choose
map
where to go.
system, and then you choose where you go and do the individual levels.
See,
So the levels are linear, but you have an openness of what order you do them in.
Mass Effect reminds me of kind of like Final Fantasy 7 up to a point. It's
Mass
linear.
Effect always reminded me of Knights of the Old Republic.
Well, yeah, but
like
it's like
Final
up to a
Fantasy.
point it's linear, and then after that point it's like bam, here you go.
Is it linear or linear?
I always say linear.
I say linear.
Yeah.
Oh well.
That's what I've been taught. Like Final Fantasy 13, you play through what you think is the entire game, and then you get to the open world bit where you've got another entire game to play.
Was it like that?
quite a
not
good
how it
combination.
happened. That's
Was it
not
like
how
that?
it happened.
There's a long way where you cannot do anything but follow the path.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm agreeing with that. And then it has a field.
And then it's a massive great field where it takes
I remember
a
that field.
day to walk from one side to the other.
It's where you can
It's
see the
just
Titan
like-
over the mountains, yeah? Yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
field.
But that's as open as it got. That was the only open part. And then as soon as
Yeah.
you left the field, it went back to being linear.
Was it a field with 2 entrances?
Yeah.
It's still linear then.
I actually had about 7 or
No,
8
I think
entrances.
it had.
That's just a very open map. That's still
Yeah,
linear.
it was a very open map, but it was called open because after a certain point you could go and do the missions where it's go and kill this monster in this.
Oh, yeah,
time, and
that was
you
for the
walk around,
Titan.
get a-
Yeah.
You get a quest from one of the stones.
and then it's like, oh no, you have to run over to this map and do this thing.
Okay.
And then
Go
come back.
backwards and forwards.
Yeah, but it wasn't really open. I didn't think it was open.
That doesn't-
13.2 was open because you
Open
could jump
boundaries,
through
shall we
time.
say.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's not just you got 4 foot by.
I wouldn't
by-
class those games as being open.
Well,
So
it's a bit like.
I'd say like the older ones were,
Oh, the older ones definitely were.
but now not.
Because of the whole overworld map.
Yeah.
You could go wherever you wanted, really.
Like Final Fantasy X, when they first went to, you can see the monsters.
I'd say 10 was linear
still a
as
bit-
well.
A
It's
bit
got
more
that-
linear, but a bit more open world as well.
Because even the boat part of it,
Yes,
where you're travelling from
combination.
island to island, you had to go in those island orders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there wasn't. It gave the illusion of
So
open
basically,
world, but it wasn't there.
when you're saying open world, you mean
Skyrim.
Say Skyrim, Fallout,
Far Cry,
Far
Yeah.
Cry, GTA,
State of Decay.
State of Decay.
Do love that game.
It is an awesome game.
But I think having a game like that, like Skyrim was good, and the Fallout's good, and GTA's always been
Yeah.
awesome. But I
Yeah.
do think you lose a lot of the
Red Dead.
Red Dead, yeah. But you do lose a lot of the story being because you can just run off for ages and forget what you're doing.
Some games in this open world format.
Something sort of in the middle where
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
sort of a pushed storyline.
There-
You can go off and do other
Yeah.
missions as well.
Like I've found Far Cry 2 doesn't push the story enough. I'm running through it, and there are little blips on the map where there is a story mission here, or it doesn't even tell you what kind of story mission. It's just that there is something to do, but it takes forever to get to that point because it's too big. And on the way, there was one bit where it's at the top corner of the map, and I'm in the bottom corner of the map, and I need to get there. So I start going north, and I get, because the map is divided into little sections, I get 2 sections up, start getting into this big ambush, have to go a section to the right, and then end up back where I started because I need to go get weapons, because I've run out of ammunition, because it's just not there.
So
And so,
Too much.
effectively,
fast travel
I've played.
system.
There is a bus fast travel system, but I was nowhere near them,
Right.
and I hadn't travelled far enough to get to them. So I'd spent an hour and a half, and I'd gone in a circle. Yeah, I had fun. Don't get me wrong. I getting these outposts. I was sniping everyone. It was
What's
brilliant.
good about those sorts of things is when you get distracted just by doing all of that. You
Yeah.
get a lot of gameplay out of those sorts of
A lot
games.
of gameplay.
Because
But
you get a lot of hours worth of play out of them because you're
But I
constantly
wanted
doing
to
other
do the
things.
mission.
If
I
you wanna
wanted
do
to
the
progress the
story
storyline because nothing had happened. No story or anything. Whereas I feel that State of Decay did it really well. So the story mission it wants me to do at the moment is I've got to go over to the next town and talk to the
right.
judge.
And it's very apparent how you do
I've
it.
done
Yeah.
It's easy enough to
But
do.
yeah, that's the next thing I've got to do.
Travelling there is
Because it's quite far.
relatively long.
Yeah.
But you can drive.
Yeah, and over the radio, the girl at the church, Lily, keeps going, oh, there's a thing you need to go check out, and you keep hearing messages from the judge, reminding me that this is the story mission, and if I go to the map, it's there, it's flashing at me.
And
But I can do other things if I want to. I can
other
choose
missions
not
that-
to do it.
Like, have you done all the... where you had to go up to the little hillbilly house?
The Wilkinsons.
Yeah,
That's the next
Have
thing
you
I'm
done
going
all
to...
of
That bit has just opened up to me.
Yeah, so
Which-
if you don't do that, it's like, oh, you're going to pay him a visit.
Yeah. So they keep reminding you of the story, but you don't have to do it in that order. And I like that. It pushed it enough. But whereas on Far Cry, at no point have I had someone radioing me going, hey, why don't you go to this town and sort out the jackal? The jackal needs to be stopped because there's this big civil war going on. Never happened.
Far Cry 3
That would be a
does
good
that.
thing.
Well, it
Yeah,
pushes
right.
it.
When you're running around, because there's loads of little things you can do. There's not so many side quests, but it's like take over guard towers or go and do
Yeah.
a couple of missions.
That's what this had.
But if you're running around doing that or just hunting tigers,
I feel like I would do a lot of time doing that.
that is what I spent the majority of the time doing. Trying to and getting all the
Look at my
rare
little
animal
baby.
missions.
And like hunting sharks as
Yeah.
well.
I feel if
But
Far...
then every now and then you get one of the main characters being like, Jason, you need to go and do this.
You feel a bit of an urgent
Yeah,
sort of need
Yeah.
to go
but
and
it's
do it.
like
Just then.
so I loved Skyrim, but I never once had a sense of urgency where I wanted to get through a story.
I
I
think Skyrim
No.
carries it off really well.
It-
Like,
no,
a
open
casual
world,
game
it's
that
really hard to get the open world done well, but they do it well.
it,
no,
it
like-
didn't push the story maybe because there was no one telling you, but you could just go into your inventory and go, there you go, story mission, side quest mission.
Yeah.
There were things you could do.
Yeah.
Whereas in Far Cry,
Mist
it's,
mission.
Yeah.
at
I
no
know that.
point is it I can go, these are the missions I have open, I'm going to go and do them. I feel if Far Cry 2 had the RPG that Far Cry 3 has, I'd be happier because I could just go, do you know what, I'm going to go level up my sniping, I'm going to go level up my skinning animals and all that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even have that. The only sort
there's
of
no RPG leveling elements in it.
all it is just collecting weapons, buying them with the diamonds, and
Like
it's
Rage versus Borderlands.
yeah. Oh well, god, yeah.
Borderlands has the RPG stuff which makes it much more interesting, whereas Rage is just run
So
around.
would you consider Borderlands linear or open world?
Borderlands is
Well, it's
a bit
So-
like
the
Final
good
Fantasy.
balance.
It's-
isn't
yes,
it?
a very good
It's-
balance.
It's open world, but you have to complete
You
certain
have,
things
yeah.
to
If you
progress.
because when you have the maps
There is
have
a
more
progression.
than 2 exits for them, and it's not like you enter this map and you exit the map over there. It's you could go in many different directions,
But
and you don't.
eventually, you do have to take that linear path
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get to the end. So
It's-
That's it's like Mass Effect had that. So
Yeah.
after a point, you could
Yeah.
go wherever you want and do all the side quests, but to get to a certain planet would involve you starting the story mission as soon as you get there.
I think if we're going to class a game as open world, it literally needs to be one huge map.
Then
So
you can do your story
Skyrim
missions
or
at your
any
own
Elder Scrolls game,
Basically,
really.
the
Or
only
any of
games
the
that really
GTA
pull that off
or
are-
Rockstar
What?
games, in fact.
the only games I can really think of that pull that off are the Elder Scrolls games.
Yeah, you always liked Morrowind.
I did like Morrowind.
Did Morrowind push a story at all?
I didn't. It was a long time ago.
'Cause I remember-
it was more. It was more open than. I remember switching to Oblivion and thinking, "Oh, they're pushing a story."
Oblivion did push it, I know that.
Because I know Morrowind was very much. What am I doing? I'm in a new world. And I
But
don't
you
know what I'm
liked that,
doing."
didn't you? You
Yeah.
liked the fact that you could just do what the hell you wanted.
Yeah, I remember when I first played. I was a brand new character and I ended up on the DLC island where it was really, really hard. And I was like, I asked my brother, I was like, "What's going on? Why is it so hard?" And he was like, "You've gone to the island where you're not supposed to go yet."
You've gone to the island of death.
I was like, "Well,
Don't do that.
It shouldn't allow me to go there until I'm a certain level." And he's
Yeah.
like, "Well, it's open. You go wherever you want. You can go to the places where it's really hard."
Yeah, you can get to a bit where you're stuck because you're underpowered.
Is it, like you said, Grand Theft Auto
What are you
does
saying,
that,
boy?
but I never finished 4, so I don't know if it still does. But even Grand Theft Auto you had to get past a certain part in the story to get to the next island.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
in
it
Vice
does,
City
yeah.
and San
Yeah,
Andreas.
yeah.
To unlock, like,
Well,
the bridges were closed.
Unless you got the dodo
The
cheat and
front
you're able
door,
to jump. I jumped the tank on Vice City from one island to another. Always proud of that.
Yeah, the turn the turret round.
Tie round, use the recoil to
Um,
get speed. Yeah,
It's the low grav cheat, wasn't it?
well, it's the dodo cheat. It's what turns cars into planes.
Yeah, but you can do it with low grav as well.
I thought it was the same thing. Didn't know they were 2 different cheats.
Yeah, I
I didn't
suppose
know
maybe.
those.
Either way.
Yeah,
I only remember.
Turn it around.
but yeah, I
you
mean,
hold back on the right stick and
Yeah, yeah.
go press forward with the. And
it's
then
how you would
kind
do.
of-
It's how you would do a wheelie on a bike.
Yeah.
But it would just make you lift off. But yeah, it's open world, but it breaks it up. So you've got open worldness on this one little island, and then you can have open worldness on 2 islands, and then 3 islands.
Yeah, and then by that point you finish the story.
See, Grand Theft Auto, I feel it pushed the story enough because you have the
You do
on
what you want
4.
on the first island,
Yeah.
and then you do the missions to get to the next island, then you've got the
So I think
right
Rockstar have got it down.
Well, I mean,
as well.
yeah, 'cause like
Red
on
Dead's
4
exactly the same as that.
On 4, you'd
Yeah.
get phone calls to do stuff
Yeah.
if you hadn't done it enough. And on your map, you had the D sign for this for Dwayne. I think it was on number 4.
D for Dwayne.
Yeah, but so you
M
had
for Marie,
so you had all of this stuff on your mini map telling
Melanie.
you that there were things that you needed to do. So it pushed it enough, but you could just ignore it.
Yeah. And you get your buddies saying, "Hey, do you want to come in for a drink or do
Yeah.
this and that and the other?" So they invite you out and you go.
My only
and
problem
just-
was I played it a couple of weeks ago. I'd completely forgotten how to answer the phone. Which, if you think about it, it was really easy because it's a green answer button and a red hang up button. There are buttons of this colour on the controller.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I figured that out at the end. But my buddies only rang me to go for a drink when I was on a mission, so that was kind of annoying.
Yeah, you can ring them to go for a drink as well if they're free.
Maybe. So, yeah, you say Rockstar got it good.
Yeah,
What
I
was it
think
like in Red Dead?
Red Dead's like you have a certain part.
Do they ring you up on your mobile?
Yeah,
on your cup of string?
On my cup of string.
It's a pigeon.
And then
Come
after
back and go, oh,
after
pigeon.
A certain
Oh, Jim,
amount
let's go
of
for a
story
drink.
levels, you get to go to Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah. And
And
there
then
is
that-
bits that are harder,
Yeah.
so you can't really go there until you got a bit better at the game.
Okay. That's still quite cool. So, what are we saying? That we like open world more than we like linear?
See, I'm the other way around. I prefer.
But
I do
games.
love a good bit of linear.
It's like some
Most
those
of the
games that are in
JRPGs
the
are
middle
quite
where
linear.
there are side missions that you can go off and do, but the
See,
main
it's
mission is
like I
pushed.
said, it's the problem I have with Skyrim is that I found Skyrim too open.
Too much to do.
Yeah,
Like, if I wanted to, I could spend hours and hours and hours doing nothing but
I
blacksmithing.
think that's the point.
I
of
did.
that game,
And there
though.
wasn't
Oh, I
any
did.
push.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I did because I got my blacksmithing full, so I could get the
I got
thingy on.
my
That's
what
why I don't play that game, because I know it just swallows up hours and hours and hours doing you
like
progress that far.
what I did is I played as the mage, but I wanted to be a battle mage, so I leveled up my enchanting and my smithing, so I could get some awesomely enchanted armor, so that I couldn't be touched if someone tried to get me.
Yeah.
But I had all these powerful mage spells.
Yeah.
So and I did that from the beginning. So I started off at a very high, powerful level. But I put in the work to do it, so it's not like
The cheat.
yeah.
Actually, in Skyrim, I basically played as a paladin.
Did you?
Well, I played like sword in one hand, healing spells in the other, and epic armor.
Mine was epic armor, black magic, destruction magic. So yeah, battle mage. It was awesome.
But it did. I don't think that Skyrim pushed the story as much as it could have. Whereas I
Yeah.
was saying to you that Bioshock Infinite is just pure story. There's like a bit of exploration you can do, but it's within
Yeah.
confines. But the story is so good that I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it keeps you engrossed, that's all you need, really.
But then
Which-
on the other side, Argrest is quite an awesome game, and it's literally little dots on a map. So you move to the next dot, have a battle. Move to the next dot, have a town. Next dot is a battle. Next dot
Alright.
is a battle, sort of thing.
What's the idea of
That's
that
really
game?
cool. It's a bit like a tactics game. So like Tactics Ogre, Final Fantasy Tactics, and that sort of thing.
I played. You
That's
played
like
that.
XCOM.
You played.
Oh,
Oh, okay, yeah. So I
But it's
don't.
on a grid, so
I didn't like the look of XCOM.
I really liked it.
I know it's like all this big and great game, but it just. It just
I
look,
want to get it from playing the demo.
didn't look as good to me.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the other XCOM game.
Yeah, isn't that meant to be the
original.
No, 'cause
There are two games
Enemy
coming out,
Unknown is the remake of the original.
Right.
and there's another
there's
game
one
called
that's
XCOM.
like XCOM Unclassified: The Bureau or something like that.
Okay.
And it's
Nothing
think it's
to do with the other one.
like kind of area, whatever 51 stuff.
Did you ever play that game?
No,
Area 51.
Was that an arcade FPS game? Because I remember a game years ago,
Kind
which
of.
I played on
It
arcade.
was a PS2 game. Or
I
maybe
don't-
Xbox.
Because I mean, like a arcade gun in hand, like gun shooty.
No,
well,
it wasn't actually. I was only
not amazingly. What I really, really liked about that game was there was basically information points. Like you could pick up letters, look at like documentation, and it's got loads of different stories and things about what they were doing there. So one of them's about Sasquatch.
Alright.
It's an escaped alien, and the other one's what they do with was it fluoride in toothpaste? It's whether
Fluoride in the water. It's a thing in America, a conspiracy about fluoride being in the water.
Yeah, and this note said, basically, this is our waste product, so we just ship it out in toothpaste and stuff.
Okay.
To get rid of it.
Yeah.
So it makes a massive point of a conspiracy theory. But it's quite an interesting game for that reason.
So going to linear games, one of the most famous linear games, Half-Life,
Yes.
finally announced number 3. We push this every week. Oh, it's been announced, just in case it happens. They've actually announced it.
Yeah.
End of next year.
Half-Life 3.
It will be
It's a
on
long way away.
PC and console.
But that's the same sort of waiting time as Diablo 2 to 3.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was too long.
the thing what I think it is they may keep working on this game, but by the time they get round to a point where they could release it, the technology has advanced so much.
Yeah.
Like they must have been working on this game through all of these years since episode 2.
And technology is constantly...
Technology has increased. I mean, there's a whole new set of consoles out, so they were like, maybe we should revamp it so we can release it on the new consoles.
I suppose that's what it takes. So long.
Yeah.
So they've got, is it 7 years to finish? Before the next gen?
Yeah. But no, they've said, or not that, someone who works for Valve has said, end of next year. So they're skipping the whole episode 3 thing. What they've said is because Half-Life 3 is going to be so different to Half-Life 2, they don't think releasing an episode 3 would be good because it's different. It's not the same story. They've moved on from that.
So no more Gordon Freeman?
No, it's still going to be Gordon Freeman, but I mean, like, you had Half-Life was that story. Yeah. Half-Life 2 was this story, and episode 1 and 2 added on to DLC, if you will. But Half-Life 3 isn't continuing that story. It's the next step. Which I should probably go and finish episode 2. Because I never did.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
What, a bit like how there was Assassin's Creed 1 and 2, and then there was Revelations of Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
there
they
we
went
go.
back and did 3.
Yeah, and then there's Black Flag.
They should have just stuck with Revelations.
Have you seen the stuff they've released about Black Flag?
The Black Flag was good.
Yeah, Black Flag.
Oh my god, it looks amazing. And they've released stuff about the Abstergo real world thing, which I didn't think they were going to do because they've never done that before. They've always just talked about the assassin part of it.
Yeah.
They've never spoken about it, but they've released...
They've always hinted towards a lot of, like, today.
Yeah.
Modern day.
But they've released screenshots and everything of what the Abstergo building looks like. I mean, it's just individual screenshots.
Yeah.
Does that mean there's going to be an underworld effectively and an overworld? So the DNA world and...
It always was like that.
Yeah.
But a free roaming real world.
I think, yeah, because you play as an Abstergo person, I think there will be a whole bit where you come out of the Animus and you can just explore the office, which would be awesome. I think that'd be really cool.
Another open world, sort of.
But
I don't know, because each floor would be its own map. Unless it wasn't and you just went upstairs or something.
if they made it so that you could actually go outside and you had to do missions within...
Well, it depends
Wherever
where
they
depends
are,
where they
as
want to go with it. Like, you're playing as this guy in Abstergo. Technically, you're the bad guy. So,
But from what they've said about the old time stuff, that looks like it's going to be one giant map.
It is.
Much open world.
giant map,
More
got like
open world than
134 islands.
Yeah. It's
But
basically
you don't
the Caribbean.
fast travel. You don't sort of... like
There is
in
fast travel.
3, there is fast travel, like the sewers, but in 3 you had your beginning island, then you got on a boat and sort of fast travelled, but not to the next island, but you couldn't do it on your own.
Yeah. The way they're doing on this one is, like the high points, the eagle points, they're fast travel points now.
That's a good way of doing
Yeah,
it.
so what it will be is you'll fast travel there, and your ship, the Jackdaw, will be in the bay of that closest point. So it's as if you did travel there, and you went up to the high point.
Yeah.
But, no, it looks really, like, so that's...
Will there be hay on the ship?
Hay?
So you can dive onto it.
I don't know. Maybe there is a couple of guys walking around with a sheet. Is it? Ready? Left a bit, right a bit. Who knows? But no,
You jump onto a sail.
yeah, no, there's that. There's sails everywhere. The jib. That's how you get back. But from the gameplay one, have you seen the gameplay trailer?
Yeah, it does look really good.
Like, so you've got the missions that you can do, and then there is just random loot things. Like, there'll be this little collection of islands. You go there, there's a dead body, you get a treasure map from him, and you go off and do this little side mission where you've got to find some treasure.
So like a nice open world feeling.
Yeah, so you can get all these
And
random little side missions.
Do you know if you use your boat, obviously, to travel between places?
Yeah. Your boat is the
Unlike-
second main character. You upgrade the boat, you treat it as if it's a person, the way they were trying... The way they're trying to get you to take it.
Yeah, like number 3, you sort of got on the boat, it switched to a new sort of
This
thing, and then you sailed somewhere, and then it switched back.
This is seamless. You go up to the boat, press a button, you start driving it. There's no loading screen between it. From what I saw, I don't know if they're going to keep with that, but there is no loading screen. You just get on the boat.
It's a current gen title as well, isn't it?
It's coming out on both.
And new.
It's coming out on both.
So
I'll be getting
keep
it on
up
current.
with the new gen, which is boasting no loading times and all that sort of stuff. They would have to make it that way on the current gen.
Yeah.
If they didn't, then no one would buy it on the current gen.
Well, I reckon people still would because I don't.
I
think
still
people
would because I'm not
It's
upgrading.
just-
I won't be upgrading till next year. So
Well, things have to come down a little bit in price. Even
Yeah,
though it's only
yeah.
$350 compared to $500.
I won't be upgrading. Also, because for the next year, most games are coming out on both,
Yeah.
like current and new. The only games that I'd have to actually wait for would be Halo, or that's about it. From all of the
All the games that are due to be released.
yeah, from all the ones that are only going to be on the next gen, there aren't that many that really appeal to me. All the ones that I liked are coming out on the other one.
Yeah,
But let's not turn it into that discussion again, otherwise James will get angry.
Watch Dogs on both.
I think it is.
No, I
think
mean
it's
both
on
gens,
PlayStation.
not.
Yeah, no, I think it's on both gens. I'm sure I've
It's
seen
not
that.
on
On,
both gens, no.
is it not? I
Watch
thought I saw
Dogs
that on
is just-
Xbox. Okay, that game is good though.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs, I think it is a PlayStation title.
No,
It's on both. It's on,
Is it both?
yeah.
I know it's both
But I know it's not next gen.
consoles, but I wasn't sure if it was both.
Wait,
gens.
I
when
don't
you say
think
next
it's both gens.
okay, so it's only going to be on the 1 and the 4
Yeah. What is the one?
because it's the only one console you'll need, or the one
But
box
it's the
that
one-
you will
on the
need.
phone.
one
to-
device.
The consumer the other day, and he said, "Oh, I'll call the Xbox One the 180 because they just didn't."
Yeah, he
I
made
made
that
that
joke.
joke,
But
and
people
everyone
have made
told
the
me it
joke
wasn't
before.
funny.
No, I said it was funny.
I made that
I
joke
joke.
when the news came out, though. I was,
Someone had already said that.
Oh, not to me.
Okay, I'm saying you weren't the first person.
No,
to
I'm
say
sure
it.
I wasn't the very first person to say it, but
You were like the third or something.
that's still quite good.
But then that would also imply that it's half the console that the 360s as well.
Because I get told that I am.
An Xbox fanboy.
Yeah, I'm going to slate Microsoft right now.
Go on.
Microsoft own any fan fiction or anything to do with the Halo universe written by anyone. If you, Trevor, because I know that you've written that fan fiction about Master Chief and I need another
Nathan
character, and Nathan Drake. Yeah, you know you wrote that fanfic, that slash fiction about the two of them.
That would be such a weird thing.
Yeah,
That
Well,
would be so odd. but
Microsoft
yeah,
own it.
because it's got Master Chief in it.
Yeah.
But it does affect me because of my drawing.
Yeah. If they find that and decide that they want to use that drawing in the Halo universe,
They can
they
just
can
take it.
just take it and use
It's
it.
just ball plot.
Yep. Yeah. So if they decide that that picture may be one of the Spartans in the next game drew that, and in his quarters in his room on the Infinity, he had it up as a poster on the wall, they could put that there
Without paying me.
without paying you.
Because they already own the rights to it.
It's not the only rights that.
How have they said that that's true?
This
Like, how do you get the rights to everything?
Wait,
Because
I have an
it's-
article. John has an article.
it's to do with characters and intellectual property. So basically, they invented Master Chief, so they have the right to say no one can do anything with Master Chief
Well, then
without
why
permission.
doesn't why isn't all fan art and fan stuff owned by the people that originally?
Because most people.
Okay. This means if you add to the game universe or expand the story told in the game with lost chapters or backstory or anything like that, distribution of your story or ideas may appear in future games without any compensation to you. That's what Microsoft said.
Oh right, so
Okay,
if you
so
write
don't
a
take it,
fanfic
but
and
they
they then
copy it.
use that story in the actual game,
Yeah, you don't get anything
They
for it.
don't. Right.
But
But
it
it
still
don't
means
have
It
royalties
applies
from
to
it.
art and
it
everything else.
still means if your picture, they could take that and just put it in the game and not tell you about it.
They can use your concept and your ideas.
Because what it is,
Because
Without
your
any
concept
royalties.
is based on their
concept.
so-
What it is there's a game coming out. Well, there's a game being made called. What is it called? I need to find the name. It's called Project Contingency. It's basically, Black Mesa Source.
Yep.
You know how that remade Half-Life?
Yep.
It's that. They've remade Halo. They haven't stolen any assets or used any existing assets. They've made their own. And that's what they've come up with.
Okay.
That looks just like the Phantoms, right?
Yeah.
So they've made it all from scratch, and they've remade Halo. They got all worried because they suddenly got a cease and desist from Microsoft,
Right.
Did you just call it a cease and desist?
Cease and desist. They got a cease
Yeah, no, I
and
thought you said a deceased.
I may have said that. Who knows?
It's like die and stop.
Or stop and then die. Just no more. Yeah, so they got that, and they were all a bit worried about it. But they spoke to a guy who works for 343 at RTX,
Yeah.
and he said you should be okay with it. So they're
Because
going
it
to.
doesn't use their concept. It uses.
Well, no, it does use their. They're remaking the game from scratch.
Okay, their concept, they're not their art.
Yeah, but
it's
because
not
it-
using the same models and the same.
But because it is continuing the storyline, the thing is they will either be given a cease and desist and have to stop, or Microsoft will just be okay with it. But if they add any extra things to the universe, Microsoft can take it if they want. So if they add an extra bit where the Arbiter is actually Irish, the Arbiter could become Irish and they don't own the rights to it.
Right.
I'm being very
It's
stupid with
not
the ideas, but
an awful idea, though, on Microsoft's part. Because there are a lot of talented fan fiction writers. That's not a sentence I thought I'd ever
And
say.
then if
I know, right? But
Microsoft then use it, they're not going to get copyright suits. And
I
that sort of
think
thing
they should. I
from
mean,
the
they
fan
said that they
artists.
don't have to give credit, but I think they should at least give credit.
Yeah, they're in some form of credit, or even just on the image itself,
Because
if there's a picture in the
they've
game or something like that.
They've always been Microsoft and Bungie and all these people have always been good in the Halo universe with giving credit. You remember the fan room
Yeah.
in was it Reach?
Well, I wouldn't say Microsoft have. I would
That
say
was a Bungie thing, but 343 have done it as well.
Yeah, no, I think 343 will give credit where it's due.
But they are a sub company of Microsoft.
Yes, I don't think that Microsoft would force it on them if they chose not to.
Yeah, but
I think that 343 would be like, well, either we don't want to use it because it's not one of our ideas, or if we're going to use it, we'll give credit in some form. It'll be a fan room, or we'll name the character after who wrote it.
Or in the credits, there may be a special thanks to, and then a long list of all these
People
fanfic
that they've
writers, people who they've nicked stuff from.
Because that would be quite interesting.
But no,
special thanks to like Halo fan 363 from fanfiction.net.
Oh god, now how many creepypastas would they have to? No,
That's the plot of Halo 5.
what creepypasta?
Yeah, Halo Master Chief meets Slenderman.
I thought you had a love triangle with Slenderman and Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Heard it here first.
I heard that from...
Oh no, they're going to nick it from us now. Give us credit.
What was it? Is it Kittor?
Who, him?
Yeah,
KittorPrototype.
Yeah, KittorPrototype on fanfiction. That's where I read
Yes, I heard that too. That's how he do.
I'm holding something.
I know. I had a point about. Yeah, I feel like they've said that we don't have to give. I'm hoping it's that we don't have to give.
But we will.
Yeah, just in case they forget to.
We
But
don't have to, but we probably will.
we probably will, but we can't make any promises about
Because
that.
we might forget.
Who are you again?
Just like they forgot Ray didn't work.
What?
The picture of Ray.
Oh yeah, when he snuck into the 343 picture. Yeah, that's quite awesome though. For years, he's gonna be in that picture, and these kids gonna be like, "Who's that guy?" I have no idea. That's Ray. We hate him.
You would think the guys at 343 know who Ray is, though.
Yeah, they have a weird relationship. Yeah, I think we've got to the end of all our articles.
Sweet.
Unless any of you know anything about Dread.
Nope.
Nope.
Not a single
Well,
thing.
we'll leave that one for Adam when he decides to turn up at some
Adam's
point.
not going to turn up because...
Because have you killed him? Or has he committed genocide again, and so he's been taken away by the authorities?
He's been committed for his genocidal acts.
Gosh darn it, Adam! You had one job, and it wasn't to commit genocide. No, it wasn't. I know what everyone thinks about
That was his
Binarycore.
one job.
I know what you think we're like, but no, genocide is not something that we want.
It's only
Often.
something that Adam wants
Yeah,
all the time.
all the time. He is the most genocidal. Anyway, we're getting off topic. What was the topic? Adam's a genocidist.
I thought that was off.
No, he's Hitler. Oh, sorry, Godwin.
Hitler Godwin?
Oh my God.
I'm sure you said Godwin.
Yeah, Godwin. Godwin's Law.
Oh, right.
When-
I thought you were saying like his name is Hitler Godwin. The third.
That would make a lot of sense, actually. We know about Godwin's Law, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Let's end this here. It's been going on far too long.
Yes.